I told you all that I was the greatest of all time when I beat Sonny Liston. I told you today I'm still the greatest of all time.
I take all comers. I don't duck any man.
Can we assume that Michael Dokes is one of the prospects?
All comers. Come one, come all, because nobody can get close to me. They're not even close. I'm the best fighter in the world.
Ducking like a whack-a-mole. Yes, sir. I'm a big-ass motherfucking duck. I'm the biggest duck in the world, and y'all about to see it in 3 days. In 3 days, y'all about to see it, and I can't wait. The biggest fucking duck in the sport of boxing.
Recently, the WBC president, Mauricio Sulaiman, had a conversation with Bill Haney on Barbershop Conversation, in which the WBC president Sulaiman confirmed that Teofimo Lopez guaranteed him he was going to fight Devin Haney right after Vasyl Lomachenko. In fact, here is the confirmation by the WBC.
Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko. But when I talked to you on the phone correctly, you said to me, you guaranteed me that the winner, whoever the winner was going to be, and if it was Teofimo, that he guaranteed to you that he was going to fight Devin Haney next.
Yes, he has always
That's what he told you. Huh?
He has always said that he wants to fight Devin Haney. That is correct.
But he was supposed to fight Devin Haney next and not Kambosos.
The reality is that the kid, Teofimo, has always said that he wants to fight Devin Haney. That is correct.
So, as you all heard on the audio, Bill Haney asked the WBC president Sulaiman, didn't Teofimo Lopez promise you he was going to fight Devin Haney after Vasyl Lomachenko? In which Sulaiman responded by stating, yes, he did. Teofimo always wanted to fight Devin Haney. Therefore, if that's the case, why is Teofimo fighting Kambosos instead of Devin Haney? Last time I checked, he guaranteed to fight Devin Haney next, after Lomachenko, not Kambosos. And when Bill Haney brought that to Sulaiman's attention, would you guys believe Sulaiman responded by repeating Teofimo empty promise by stating the reality is Teofimo always wanted to fight Devin Haney. Therefore, if that's really the reality in Sulaiman's imaginary world, again, why is Teofimo fighting Kambosos instead of Devin Haney next? Let me tell you the truth in the reality realm, not the WBC imaginary world. The truth is, Teofimo is fighting Kambosos. That's the reality, which means he broke his promise, if we being politically correct, which also means Teofimo Lopez lied to the WBC, just like he lied to Mike Tyson face and also to all of his fans worldwide by claiming he was going to fight Devin Haney next, and then he went on and fought Kambosos instead. Teofimo, he went from the takeover to now officially the fake over. I mean, they say you fake it till you make it, right? This is exactly what Teofimo is doing. He's faking it till he makes it out of the Devin Haney fight. After all, it's all about that NBF takeover. Teofimo is not paying the WBC section and fees for nothing, which is exactly why Sulaiman was really slippery and never responded to the fact that Teofimo broke his promise and did not fight Devin Haney next. Instead, he danced his way out of that conversation. It's fair to say that Teofimo is getting every single penny out of that NBF Witness Protection franchise designation. You best believe witness protection does not come for free. You can ask 6ix9ine. There is no other explanation to Teofimo paying sectioning fees for a title that's not even real.
Last man even said they doing that to protect him.
Right.
Somebody beat him, but they don't get a belt.
There you go.
The franchise belt is protect them from the big black guys.
None of the boxing websites recognize the WBC franchise as a real title. The history books don't recognize the WBC franchise as a real title. All of the other organizations, such as the IBF, WBA, and WBO, don't recognize the WBC franchise as a real title. So why is Teofimo paying 2 sectioning fees to the WBC for a duplicate title that even other champions don't recognize as a real title? The answer is as clear as day. It's for the NBF witness protection fees. Nevertheless, I'm going to dive into what the WBC had to say when it came to the franchise designation, more so toward the end of the video. At the moment in time, I do want to stick to the topic at hand. You see, the WBC made no mention of Kambosos being the mandatory. This is why Teofimo is fighting him next. Therefore, why didn't the WBC bring up these decafs talking point? For the obvious reason, the WBC president knows Teofimo could have requested an exception from the IBF in order to fight Devin Haney instead for undisputed, which falls right under the IBF Exception Rule. This is not according to me now. This is according to Teofimo's own manager. That's right. Mick Water came out and stated, who's Teofimo's manager, that Teo could have requested an exception to fight Devin Haney instead of Kambosos. Therefore, there is no excuse to why Teofimo continues to avoid Devin Haney. I mean, I've seen a lot of bold fighters troll, like Ryan Garcia did to Tank and Devin, even Manny Pacquiao. However, I never seen a fighter that just blatantly lied the way Teofimo lied to all of the fans worldwide, claiming he was going to send Devin Haney a contract in which that contract haven't arrived to this day.
Here, the end of April, beginning of May is my fight day. Well, my fight month. Against who? We're in the works of it. We're going to throw contracts at Devin. We're going to throw contracts at Kambosos. Whatever we get back with, as long as we find a medium, we all agree on the terms, then that's your fight. They're all going to know. Why you think Devin said April? Everything's already falling into place, ladies and gents. Y'all just got to wait. Y'all so impatient. It's going to come. All of it's going to come. Y'all just got to be patient with it. These things don't come overnight.
Ladies and gentlemen, when Teofimo Lopez pulled off that stunt, even his own fans, the hardcore Teofimo Lopez fans, they lost a lot of respect for Teo. And it's more than fair to say that he will never earn his respect back until he fights Devin Haney. However, to continue to lie to the public instead, it's not the way. The fake over season will get left behind. You're not going to make it to Floyd Mayweather level if you keep faking it. That's not the way. I mean, Teo said it best. Everybody want to be Money Mayweather, but nobody want to be Pretty Boy. However, you have to go through that Pretty Boy stage to become Money Mayweather. Can you just imagine when Floyd beat Corrales, if he would have said, I already proved myself. I don't have to fight anybody anymore. I'm going to pick and choose the way Teofimo is moving right now. That mindset will never had mounted to nothing. That's Canelo duck print. See, Floyd Mayweather green print was beat the best for a whole decade, and then the next decade beat the best popular fighters in the world. The Pacquiao, Canelo, Cotto, Mosley, so on and so forth. Furthermore, for the people that may say Teofimo is going to fight Devin Haney after Kambosos, well, I have bad news for all of the fans that's tuning in. Teofimo Sr. recently said, most likely they're not going to fight Devin Haney next. Why? Because according to him, they're not going to go backward. So we back to square one. Mind you, this is coming from the same man that stated 2 weeks prior to that Devin Haney is scared. He's ducking us. He's going to overprice himself because they don't want to fight us.
You know, hopefully he gets over Linares.
You think he wins that fight?
I think he could win that fight, but they ain't never gonna fight us, man. They scared of us. They're never gonna fight us. They're gonna freaking outprice themselves or whatever it is. But we're gonna try to get that fight.
After some fans are thinking it's the other way around.
After this fight with Kambosos, we're going after all these freaking the so-called kings, which they not.
We want to go backwards. You know, we already got the belts. So if Josh Taylor presents himself, fuck yeah, we're going for Josh Taylor. But if it doesn't, then we'll think about staying another fight at 135, which I really don't like it because, you know, he's already growing.
This is really the changeover. Talk about contradicting yourself. The TO's constantly changing overnight. One night, he will say he gonna fight Devin. The next day, he will say he's not gonna fight Devin. One morning, he will say Devin Haney has to prove himself for a half a decade. The next minute, he will say, forget about it, guys. I'm gonna fight Devin next. I'm not gonna make him wait anymore. I'm gonna end his career. I wanted to save his career, but nah, I'm gonna end his career now. Then the day after that, Teo wanna come out and say, listen, it's not Devin Haney next, it's Kambosos. I'm not gonna continue to lie. Yes, I promised Mike Tyson. Yes, I promised the fans. Yes, I promised the WBC, but I'm fighting Kambosos. I mean, you really can't make this up. It's getting frustrating, to say the least. It's mind-blowing that now Teo Sr. want to say, why we got to fight Devin? We're not going to go backward. We're going to go forward. We want Josh Taylor next. Even though it's been confirmed that Josh Taylor is not fighting Teofimo next because he's obligated to fight his mandatory right after he becomes undisputed. That was the stipulation that was on the line to making the undisputed bout come to fruition. At the moment in time, Josh Taylor is interested in moving up in weight and fighting pound for pound number one, Crawford. In fact, Josh Taylor told Teofimo Lopez, you are not undisputed. You must fight Devin Haney to become undisputed. I'm not interested in fighting you anytime soon, which I made a video on that, so check it out in the comment section below. Therefore, why is Teo Sr. worried about a fighter that is not even available to deflect from Devin? Mind you, Teo Sr. said Devin Haney versus Teofimo Lopez is his dream fight, and it's the biggest fight in boxing. It will be the biggest fight in boxing. Therefore, why is Teo Sr. blocking the biggest fight in boxing and his dream fight from coming to fruition? More importantly, how is Teo Sr. dream fight and the biggest fight in boxing going backward?
Pick one fight. What is the mega fight in the sport? Teofimo Lopez versus who in a couple of years or next year?
I don't even know. Devin Haney? I would say Devin Haney.
Which is self-explanatory. The ducking season continue. And last but not least, some people in the comment section were asking me, the WBC president said that Teofimo is undisputed. What do you have to say to that? Is Teofimo Lopez now undisputed? Now, first of all, Teofimo pays the WBC sectioning fees in order to protect him under his wings and lie for him. The WBC president Sulaiman is being paid to lie. You don't have to believe me. Go ahead, believe what the WBC president said, because it was Mauricio Sulaiman who stated out of his own mouth that the franchise is not a title nor a championship. It's pretty much a trophy. When Canelo and Lomachenko were given that title, simultaneously they surrendered the real WBC title, according to them, to their mandatories Charlo and Devin Haney in order to avoid them, in which the WBC president Sulaiman came out and stated that the franchise is not a title nor a championship.
How did you choose Lomachenko? Because
I did not choose him. He requested, Canelo requested. So we sent out a vote and we analyzed his history.
Ooh, Canelo and Lomachenko requested?
Absolutely.
Ooh, you just made headlines.
Lomachenko.
You just made headlines.
Lomachenko, top rank, requested. And let me tell you, we analyzed the request. Top of the top.
Define the franchise belt. Can you define it?
The franchise is not a belt. It's not a championship. It's a designation given.
Which by these facts that were given by the WBC president Sulaiman himself, Teofimo is not undisputed, with all of the facts being laid out. To all of the Teo delusional fans that continue to claim Teo is undisputed by using Sulaiman, answer this question if you truly believe that. Was the WBC president Sulaiman lying when he stated that the franchise is not a belt nor a championship? If the answer is no, he was telling the truth, then that proves Teofimo is not undisputed. If the answer is yes, Sulaiman was lying. Therefore, why would you believe him today? So you trying to tell me Sulaiman lied yesterday, but today he's telling the truth? Or maybe he told the truth yesterday, but now he's lying because he's clearly saying two different things. See, to all of the decafs, you guys can't have it both ways, which is exactly why I always get proven right, because the truth will always prevail. So if the WBC want to change the ruling, that's fine, but you can't change the ruling while Devin Haney has the real belt. That makes no sense at all. It's one thing if the WBC want to change the ruling when nobody has any belt at that division. However, even if they do that, they have to change the ruling in every single division, which is another reason why the other organizations and all of the boxing websites don't recognize the NBF witness protection as a real title. And it's been confirmed that it's 1000% a witness protection title, because when Bill asked Sulaiman, how can we fight and challenge for the WBC franchise? Because we tried to fight Lomachenko and Teofimo, however, you guys took him off the menu, in which Sulaiman responded by stating, you can challenge the WBC franchise. Then Bill Haney followed up with, how? We've been trying to figure that out. We've been trying to challenge Lomachenko and Teofimo. So how? That's when Sulaiman realized he messed up and started deflecting, telling Bill, well, if you think we did wrong by you, I'm sorry, this, that, and the third, instead of responding to a simple question, which that's another video for another day. Now you can peep that everything I said was a fact. So if you disagree, then by all means, please point out the facts you disagree with your silly opinion, because it's always facts over opinion. Facts will always trump opinions, which is why the truth always prevails. Akhi's undefeated because the truth is undefeated, which is one of many reasons why I got these decafs shook. They scared to look whenever Akhi's on TV, because the truth is always bad news for these punk drunk trolls that have to get cojones implanted for even having a thought to debate Akhi. With that being stated, drop your thoughts in the comment section below, subscribe below, and click on the notification bell to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace, and we on to the next one.
You can make it happen, bro. You got your fucking connections. Make it happen.
March 2021. Can I go get you? Can I go get $4 million from DAZN?
I'll fight for 4. I told my son he can fight for
21. Stop backpedaling. Like Mark Nash said, we just made the fight happen.
Yeah, but if I'm gonna make $2 million with your son, and I'm gonna make $10 million with Kambosos or whatever the fuck his name is in Australia, guess what? What route would you take? Why would we let go of a $10 million offer to fight somebody else for $2 million? Don't make no sense. We already proved ourselves. We don't need to go backwards. Like I told everybody, we're going forward.
Give us $10 million. We fight Devin tomorrow.
Devin,
how much? $10 million. Okay. You can do that?
Oh, shit.
Yeah? You do? Let's do it.
You want to be allowed, that's the problem.
You want to be allowed? You're talking to the wrong people.
I made more than double of what Teofimo made for his last fight against Loma.
Wow.
Pound for pound best.
You think he's gonna make 10 million fighting Josh Taylor? Or he gonna request 10 million to fight Josh Taylor?
Hell no. Hell no.
Right,
He's not gonna make $5 million.
Yeah, that's for
He's
sure.
not gonna make $3 million.
They don't
So-
say it no more. Now they say 10 million.
Yeah, that's a new way of ducking. You just outprice yourself out like Gary Russell did.
But when it comes to Devin, I got to think about it. Devin has not a long way. He got like maybe 3 to 5 years to get to that point to where we can make that fight happen. 3 to 5 years to where we can make that fight happen. So our next guy is Haney. And if Haney if he overprices himself, then we're going to try to shoot for Garcia. He needs to take the fight. Whether he gets 2 million or 3 million, he needs to take the fight. You know, he's not gonna get whatever he really thinks he might get. He's gonna get less than that. So, and I think he needs to understand that and where he's at in the opposition, where he's at. We're gonna choose a fight date. We're gonna choose a fight month because we're the A side. Devin Haney, none of these guys.
But in terms of Devin, since you're talking about him and you're asking what
It ain't gonna happen.
No,
it
no,
ain't gonna happen.
no.
I'll be honest. It ain't gonna happen.
Which is the fight that you want to happen at 35? Which one are you looking at?
Like I said, man, a lot of people can say whatever they want, but the dude actually fought his way to get his shot with me, and he has actually 2. So it is gonna be Kambosos.